Whoa. Hey guys, welcome. Just doing a test stream here. Um, Michael seems to be having some issues with his streaming as it relates to MFS, and he thinks it's something to do with the drivers. So I'm just doing a test stream here just to see if I'm having the same issue as well. I know since the last update, I've been having some sticking when it comes to just about spawning in, and I do recall on one flight that I was in cruise and it stuck for a couple seconds. I thought it was going to crash, and then what happened was it unfroze, but it disconnected my autopilot. So basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a very short flight and see if I can have any issues. It's parking. Okay, everything seems fine though, no issues. So I guess we'll head on our way. So as the fuel on, we're gonna close these switches so that if they're loose that they don't shut down the aircraft. I don't know, they should have beacons but it doesn't. It only has position, strobe, landing and taxi. That will have to do then. Let's see if we can do a pushback here without hitting that other aircraft. Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We're ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brake release.
Pushing back.
It's funky taxi lines. That's the sticker I'm talking about. Start pushback.
Pushback complete. Set parking brakes, please.
Brake set.
Roger. Okay, the tow bar is disconnected and the equipment is clear. We'll see you on the left side with the pin.
Starting number 2. Starting number 1. Transponder set to 2000. Today we're going to be cruising at 6,000 feet. I'm always wary of the altitudes that SimBrief gives me when I'm flying GA aircraft. So if I see any mountains, I'll probably go a bit higher, but it looks quite flat for the most part. Heat on, avionics masters on. Do a climb of initially 1,000 feet per minute. Alright. Taxi light on. I think we're good to go. Let's see here. Runway 35 is what we're taking off with. For some reason my brakes, there we go. I have to give it a ridiculous amount of power just to move forward. Similar to the one in P3D, but this one requires a lot more power. It's like it's stuck in mud. Alright, position, strobe is on, landing light is on. We're just gonna go and backtrack a bit. We're offline, so that shouldn't be an issue with anyone. I dare not fly this thing online anyways. Flight controls check. Why do I have a low voltage sign? Well, that would explain it. My alternator was on. Hey Mike, haven't had that issue as yet. Thanks man. I've got everything pretty much on ultra. I've got the rendering down to 100. I had the sticking there just now briefly, but I don't have any issue with the streaming. It could be as well that this probably might not be taking as much away from performance as maybe the jets would do. I can do a flight in the Neo, I guess. I just hate landing that thing. The only thing that I've changed on Ultra is the rendering, which is at 100. I had it higher, but I just brought it down. Man, you should be able to run Ultra. I don't, but oh, I remember you have all your stuff on though. I don't keep you know, all those clutter and stuff at the airport. I don't keep that on. That's the only thing that I've taken off. But I have AI traffic and live traffic on, so maybe that's why there's a difference. But yeah, seems alright for me. Did you get your tracker IR sorted? 'Cause I'm using it. I can do full left, full right. It's only when I go behind the 180 plane that it will probably freeze there, because I'm out of the frame of the left light. And if I do it like this, it then goes funny because I'm out of the frame of the right light, but I still have 180 degrees view with the tracker IR. Alright, let's man, when you have time, man, I don't even know what other stuff I can. When you have time, let's do a video call on your phone and let's have a look at it. It's got to be something in your settings. What I'll do is I'll send you off all of my settings and you can just put that in yours and see if it works for you, but more than likely it's where you actually have it positioned. Anyways, let's get out of here. Flaps coming down. The last time I took off this aircraft, I landed I had 2 landings and 1 takeoff. No, 2 landings, 3 takeoffs, something like that. I bounced on takeoff. Alright, let's see. We've got everything in there. It's offline, so we don't have to check for comms, so we can sit on the runway. Alright, let's see. Pit heat is on. Adventurous fuel pumps are on. Turn off my oxygen until I get high enough that I actually need it. And let's go. Don't you dare leave the ground at 30 knots. I think I'm gonna clip those trees. Let's go. Gear up. Damn, this thing is... Oh my. I can't even set a hand fly this thing all the way up. That's flaps coming up. There's our airport. Say bye-bye. That's lights coming off. And I give it to the autopilot. we are on our way. It is. I was supposed to do this flight yesterday in P3D, and what I tend to do when trying to make up my mind if I'm gonna fly in P3D or if I'm gonna fly in MFS is I spawn in at the airport for departure and the airport for arrival, and then if I like what I see in P3D, I'll do it in P3D. But I did not like what I saw yesterday, so I decided I'll do it in MFS. This is what I was telling you about how the ground look a bit sometimes. Like when we were in the States the other day on that group flight, it looked a lot more crisp than this. Oh, this stuff here. It's still better than what I'm seeing from Orbits and them, but let's go. Let's see, how far is my next waypoint? 19? Yeah, I won't go too high, I'll stick at 6,000. I'm pretty sure that the barometer isn't 9.92. It's not standard, it's nowhere. From ground up to here, it's still 2.299 or 2? Nah. That's 6,000 feet coming up. Yeah, I mean, like, hey Dave, welcome man. How you feeling? Yeah, I'm not rushing them. The sim is what? 4 months, 5 months old. Came out in August, September, October, November, December. So almost 5 months. I just want one good aircraft, one really good aircraft. Even airsoft level I will accept, and I will make this my full-time sim. But I can't do the jetliners in here, and I really didn't expect that much from the jetliners, to be fair. Well, anything default. I'll tell you one thing, I am really happy with the default general aviation aircraft. I'm very pleased with them for the most part. I mean, like, there's a few quirks, but there's not a sim that has default planes that is actually really flyable, I guess. P3D 747 default FSX, awful. You could come in at 160 knots to land and that thing will still stall. Just got a message saying ice kick frames detected, 49% over last 2 minutes. Is that what you were getting, Michael? It's going back to normal now though. It's still quite decent though, Dave. I like looking at this and looking at what I was seeing with the even with the Orbit's land class in P3D. Like, it wasn't that hard to make a choice. No, and it's gone back to normal. It was red for a second and now it's back to green. It's going between green and yellow. Oh, there it is again. 51% over the last 2 minutes. I don't remember seeing like from you though. Oh yeah, only with I think you were, it was one of those flights where you was just starting, and I think it was the same latitude. Don't say that, Dave. I showed Mike an ad yesterday on Facebook where this guy had a part eaten turkey and was selling it in marketplace for like 15 euros and charging an extra 2 euros for the giblets. I don't think that P3D is done as yet. It's on its last legs, but it's not done as yet, for the main reason that a lot of people are still sticking with P3D because they don't want to lose the money that they've spent on it. So if you went from V4 to V5, pretty much all of your scenery will go over. There's only 2 exceptions that I can think of where you actually had to pay again for updates, and that is Black Marble and with Milviz. So as long as P3D continues allowing the third-party products to work with it, P3D is still going to be around for a bit. Well, I saw that one coming for a while, Dave, and the reason why I say that is because with UK 2000, their latest sceneries they were making for both X-Plane, some of them they were making for both X-Plane as well as P3D, and while they were for both versions, you were only paying for the P3D version and you're getting the X-Plane one free. And the reason for this is that they had a lot of issues with their coding in terms of... No worries, Mike, man. If I don't hear you before the end of the stream, I'll just send you a message and we can chat whenever you have time. But yeah, Dave, with the X-Plane versions, they didn't always used to show as the other developers ones used to show. The contours and stuff sometimes would be a bit off. I know I've got 2 sceneries from them where they give you the XP version free and there's a warning in there that's something about the rendering and the contours or something like that. So I mean, like, it was just they doing extra work for free because you weren't paying for it. So it's no surprise that they would have already ceased, but they're the only ones that ceased. And UK 2000 has a very, very small part of the market. Like the name states, it's just the UK, and they don't have They have a few airports in the UK, but they're nothing like, say, Flightbeam, MK Studios, and those guys. And those guys are still pushing out airports both for MFS as well as P3D. So UK 2000 stopping developing for X-Plane doesn't mean that they've moved on from P3D. It just means that it's not really worth the hassle to do an extra scenery that you can't charge for, because when you're looking at sceneries like Mr. X, what's that other guy, Vertical Sims, I think he is. When you look at their scenery for like $9 or whatever the case may be, and you compare that to UK 2000, who charges something like maybe £14 or something like that for scenery, even though that you're getting two for the price of one, you're gonna find that it's just not sustainable over a long period of time. I think though that when P3D releases another version, if they don't start from scratch, that is going to be the last nail in their coffin. And the reason why I say that, and you probably have heard me say it already, P3D has gone through different reiterations of FSX, from V1 to V2 to V3 to V4 and now on to V5, and there's very little difference between each one. The biggest difference came with V4, when you no longer had the out of memory crashes, because they introduced 64-bit. In addition to that, they then did the PBR, and then they did the rain effects. That's the most that Lockheed Martin has done for P3D in any of the changes. Before that, it was just very small incremental changes, and they're still charging you the same $60. V5, again, people can argue, well, they did DX12, which is a fair point, and they also had enhanced atmosphere. The thing is that enhanced atmosphere wasn't made by P3D. It's a third-party developer for one. There's no way to adjust it really. You have no kind of control over it. And then with the DX12, even though it's built into the sim, there's no control over it. In previous versions, you used to have memory going from the GPU, memory going from the RAM, and it used to be limited based on what your device can do. Now with the X12, it's pretty much like a picnic. It's like all you can eat, with no kind of systems in place to say, hey, you can't take that much because I need X and X amount to do this, or I need X and X amount to run other programs along with the sim as well. As far as it's concerned, the sim is going to work great with this. I'm taking all of it, and to hell with everything else. And that's why people initially were having all of these crashed, not crashed, but GPU hung. There is a code that you can put in, and then you limit your frames to 30 to help it, but it's kind of a sandpaper fix. It's not what I personally would expect after paying $60 for the sim. So V5 will probably have another maybe three years before it's time for a new version. If they don't do a new version, or they will do a new version more than likely, but if they do a new version and they don't do something significantly better, then it's gonna go down the tubes. But persons, after spending thousands and thousands of dollars in hardware, and not the hardware isn't so much the issue, because the hardware for MFS works a lot better than it does for P3D. I can have 20 frames in P3D and I'm on a slideshow. On MFS I can have 20 frames and it's like as good as Sunday morning. But persons have spent so much money from FSX all the way down through each generation of P3D that it's kind of hard to turn away and say, look, I'm just gonna cut my losses and go somewhere else. For me, I haven't been spending, I've spent a lot but not that much, so it wasn't that big a thing for me to turn away. But P3D still has some life in it. I wouldn't discount it as yet. Alright, let's see what's going on here. There we go. What I would like in MFS though is the ability to change my contrast, my saturation and stuff like that. I tend to like a dark sim, and for me sometimes it's just way too bright. I went all the way to 4.5, but I promised myself that I wouldn't go any higher because I can't keep justifying spending $60 for very minimal changes. And when I heard P3D advertise the V.5, because it was quite short notice, I was really excited about it. But I've been burnt a couple times with what do you call it, developers, that I decided that for once I wasn't gonna rush and be an early adopter, and I'm really glad I didn't, because I can't deal with that. But that being said, I'm quite happy with my 4.5. Do you use Explain? Or is it just MFS? We're going to be landing on runway 34. Yeah, I mean, like everyone has a different monitor, and I've yet to see a monitor that has one setting that fits all, and that's something that I really miss. I mean, I thought that that would be something that would be incorporated. Sim looks fantastic, but sometimes looking at clouds, the clouds are way too bright for me. Oh, okay. I saw the train sim and I wanted to get it, but then it was like, I'll probably fall asleep playing that thing. Truck seems to be quite popular. I know there's a guy in one of our Facebook groups, Vincent. I think he does truck simming. But I think if I had to get rid of flight simming, which I probably never will, if I had to get rid of that, I would probably pick up maybe car racing or something like that. Hey Dylan, welcome guys. Where are you at the moment, Dylan? I think in P3D, there's a few times where I've been flying around GA, and it made me feel like I was back in the States training. Michael, I'm still getting those messages regarding skip frames. Am I getting any lag on your guys' side? Oh, I think I remember you saying something that you were like that you were in the UK. Yeah, you're just across from me. I'm in Ireland. When are you heading back home next year? $3,000 hours in Euro Truck and 1,000 in ATS. I guess that's the train simulation. Perfect, thanks. So when you are in your train simulation, is it like, I don't know, around the states, or can you choose different countries, or is it you purchase it for one particular area and that's it unless you buy another area, something like DCS maybe? How's school going, Dylan? Yeah, we are on lockdown until spring, more than likely. Oh, ATS is the American Truck Simulator. My bad. So can you decide that you're gonna do train ops in Germany rather than America or something like that? Like how I could decide I want to fly in Europe one day, or if I want to fly in America the next, or New Zealand or something like that. Ah, okay. I don't know. It's not that much to see when you're in a train. I mean, it goes at a ridiculous speed, so everything is just a blur. So if you had to buy for the whole world, how much would that set you back, Dave? Dylan, are you flight training by any chance? Feel free to tell me, none of my business. Yeah, that already sounds like it can be very, very expensive if I want to really explore the whole train sim world. Yeah, that's a hard pass for me. I can understand if I would have to buy like something that wasn't default, but if I gotta buy pieces of the world, nah, that's gonna get boring quick, and I too cheap to be doing that sort of thing right now. I unemployed. I can't be spending all that money on a trade sim. Okay. Yeah, that's a hard pass for me, Disciple. Pop the link up, I'll watch it. Dylan, that is a hard no for me. If you ain't got no engines, I have no right being in the air. That ain't happening. I was in a glider once. My aircraft became a glider, but it had a working engine when I took it up. What happened in between taking it up and halfway to my destination, something completely different. How do you find gliding though? Is it something you like? I'm scared of heights, man. I can't do that gliding thing. I flew over Naples for the first time in 2013, and I prayed the whole flight over the Everglades. I'm just like, if anything happens, let the plane blow up and kill me before I hit the ground, because I'll be damned if I get eaten by a croc or alligator or whatever it got in the Everglades. Nope, I ain't doing no kind of gliding. Period. Not hang gliding, not airplane gliding, nothing so. Not for me. Nope. This thing about jumping out of airplanes too, that's a hard pass as well. Why on earth would you want to jump out a perfectly functioning airplane to be tied with a string on the back of your ankles? Nope, nope, nope. Not happening. Hey guys, for those now joining, welcome to the stream. This is was supposed to be a test stream, but I guess we're going the full way. I had expected to have some issue with lag, so basically I just wanted to test it out. I do have issues with frames being skipped, but for the most part everything seems okay. We took off from Taupo Airport, that's in New Zealand, November Zulu Alpha Papa. And we're going to, I think it's pronounced Wairoa. Forgive me if I've butchered the name, if any New Zealanders are watching. Both of them are very little airports. So we should be descending shortly. Just going along the coast. One more waypoint and then we'll be at our destination. One thing that I don't like about Tracker in MFS is that when I go outside I can move my head around like this and it moves. I wish it was like in P3DNX plane where it would just take one place unless I move it, but Tracker seems to be movable both inside and outside in any view, except I think for the drone. Alright, I'm going to drop down a bit. Got 14 miles to go, it looks like. So I should have been... I'm still good for height, I think. I might have to circle the airport and come back in. We'll see. Skydiving, bungee jumping, hang gliding, all of them is a no. It's a no from me. I ain't doing it. Yeah, Dylan, that's a hard pass. End up in some farmer's field with a mean bull chasing it. Nah. Nope. 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 I'll take boring any day of the week. Y'all can keep that adventure to yourself. This ain't a little bit too slow for me. Let's bring the power back. For some reason it feels like, I don't know why, but it feels like I'm flying on the side. I am flying on the side for some reason. Does this thing have a tiller, what a rudder trim? Quite definitely in flying straight. My engines are fine. I'm using same RPM on both engines. I don't know why I have that lean to the left side. And normally you would only have, they should be counter rotating props, and even if they weren't, I should only have a bit of pull to the left on takeoff, not on landing. I don't know what's up with this. I can tell this is so uncoordinated. I kick my rudder, but it's still doing the same thing. This is me using a lot of right rudder to keep it centered. That's where it should be. Anyways, let me look for this runway. That's 2,000 feet. You're full of it. If it's more than a 2-foot drop, I ain't there. Sure, if it's more than a 1-foot drop, I still ain't there. Alright, let me find this airport. Airport is 4 miles. Alright, I'm gonna take off the autopilot and try to hand fly this thing. Okay, flight director coming off as well. Can't see Jack. This is going to be interesting. 3 miles ahead. Don't tell me that they've given me a grass runway, because in P3D it was a tarmac. I'm gonna circle and go around, see if we can find it. That looks like a grass strip down there. I'm gonna go to sea and come back low. Oh no, isn't that it there over my wing? Yeah, there it is. Isn't it? Alright, I'll go to sea and come back, and that looks like it. And I'm gonna hug 1600 feet for a bit. The ICAO is 2 seconds there. November Zulu Whiskey Oscar. I'm pretty sure that's the strip that I just saw out there. But it's ridiculously small. I know in P3D is an actual airport. A small one, but there is tarmac. Let's go back in and see. Steep turns at 1500 feet. No, thank you. My pilot's instructor would be proud. And with this aircraft is so, the top of it is so high. I think I've got it there. So I'm gonna start slowing it down. If not, we're gonna land in some farmer's field, preferably without a cow. Yeah, that's it over there. Directly off of the my prop, I guess. Well, not prop, my nose. So let's slow it down. First notch of flaps. Fascinators on. Sinking too fast. Add a bit more power. Sweetie, let me land and I'll come to you after I land, okay? Full flaps. Let's pray that I don't run off. Come over, buddy, come over. Yee. Ah, we didn't run off. Wow. Whew. Was there an exit or is it just a feel? Flaps coming up. Cheers. Almost got my license revoked for that thing. Look at the windsock. It's gusting. Cross and gusting. Yeah, fun times. Do I want to go here? Yeah. This one. Landing light off. Strobes off. I love how they do these taxiway lines. It's like my daughter got wild and just decided she's gonna mark yellow in the as close to the middle as she can. Yeah, and when I let it stop, come on. One of the diamond in real life, it needs so much power to move, because you know the pre-3D version of it is similar as well. Oh, rubbish parking. Oh well, we get the valet for it. Parking brake on. Get the heat off. Avionic master off. Cutting off. There we go. Fuel pumps off. And that's it for us, guys. I've been doing this tour with my virtual airline, and I have done so many flights in New Zealand. I like it for the main reason that it's daytime when it's nighttime for me. So I've just done, this is Wairoa or something like that, and then from there I'm going to Gisborne, from Gisborne to Otara, then to Wakatane, Rotorua, Wahi Beach, Panua Beach. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy those flights going to the beach. Hopefully you've got some a landing approach over the seaside. No worries, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Cheers, Michael. Hang gliding is a blast. Nope. Bungee jumping? Nope. 600? Nope. 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 You guys are crazy to be doing these kind of things, man. It's crazy enough to get into a tin can and put your life in the hands of another human being for like 4 hours or something like that. You're welcome, the disciple. Thanks for joining, and I will catch you with the next one. See ya.